Hey, what's going on YouTube? I've gotten some requests to do pistol reviews, and as you've seen earlier in the video, I'm not as familiar with pistols as I am with rifles, but I'm going to take a look at the CZ P-09 Duty, which is by my assessment the best 9mm pistol for the money. Now, best is a difficult word to use in any context. There's a lot of subjectivity involved, and there's a lot of different ways to operationalize best, like are you looking at accuracy, reliability, concealability, and so on and so forth. But in terms of price to performance, I don't think there is a gun that beats the CZ P-09 Duty. With pistols, you really have to invest a lot of time in finding the right one that fits you because there aren't a lot of customization options available. With rifles, if you don't like the handguards, change them. If you don't like the stock, change it. If you don't like the grips, change them. But with pistols, if you don't like something about it, you better hope that somebody buys it off of you. Now, a lot of people will choose a Glock as their first handgun, and Glocks are great guns. They have a strong reputation behind them for being reliable. A lot of law enforcement agencies carry them, and they're the benchmark by which all other striker-fired plastic pistols are evaluated, but they're not necessarily the best first choice always in every single circumstance for somebody looking for their first handgun. There might be something you dislike about the Glock, like a common complaint is the grip angle, and I'm pretty sure that even Glock fans will admit that the trigger pull isn't that great. So there's a lot of gun reviews out there that are saying that Glocks suck, but on the other hand, there's also a lot of gun reviews that are saying the 1911 sucks or the Beretta 92 sucks. Opinions are like assholes, everyone has them, and opinions about pistols tend to be stronger because of the individuality factor of each handgun. When it comes to European gun designers, three names always come up. There's Glock, there's Beretta, and there's SIG. Those in law enforcement will recommend a Glock because it's what they know. Those who have served in the military will recommend a Beretta because it's what they're familiar with, and those who are general firearms enthusiasts will recommend a SIG. FN also produces nice pistols, but they're not as mainstream, and H&K out of Germany also produces great pistols, but their price is out of the range except for the most die-hard enthusiasts. CZ is out of Czechoslovakia, and their pistols are imported and distributed by CZ USA out of Kansas City, Missouri. The CZ platform of pistols, the CZ75, was designed at the height of the Cold War, and the design made its way east instead of west, so the pistols weren't widely available outside of communist countries, but in recent years the CZ platform of pistols has gotten extremely popular among enthusiast shooters. Let's take a closer look at the pistol. I chose 9mm for my caliber because I'm not taking this gun into a war zone, I'm just punching holes in paper. But even then, as a defensive round, 9mm does have sufficient stopping power. You don't hit as hard as .45, but you do have less recoil, so you can get more shots on target, and you have more bullets. Speaking of bullets, you have 19 in a standard capacity magazine, which is best in class. The gun has a plastic frame, but all metal internal components, including the trigger. And the thing about plastic in guns is more and more guns are using more and more plastic in their design. When the M16 first came out, GIs hated it. They thought it was like a Mattel toy. High brass hated it because they thought plastic had no place in guns because they fought wars using wood and steel. But more and more guns are using more and more plastic because plastic has shown to be durable and reduce the weight of guns. The Generation 1 Glocks are still shooting strong, and Generation 1 Glocks are hard to find. They're more like a collector's item now. But that's the thing about Glocks. They're like the AK-47s of the pistol world. They're idiot-proof, they're ridiculously cheap to manufacture, and they're extremely rugged and reliable. Moving on, the gun has a 4.5-inch barrel. There's the slide release. The safety is a decocker, but you can also switch this out for a locking safety. The trigger in double action is, wait, let me fire this real quick. When you hit the decocker, it puts it into half cock, so now it's completely uncocked. So with the double action pull, it's extremely long and hard, but you're not going to be firing this gun in double action a lot. The single action pull is a very crisp 4.5-pound pull. The sights are 3-dot tritium, and they're adjustable for windage. The decocker is ambidextrous, but that's the only ambidextrous control on this gun. You have a front rail for attaching lasers and lights, and you have interchangeable grips, a large one, a medium one, and a small one. I use a small one because otherwise the larger grips will grind into the palm of my hand. The trigger guard is oversized, so for those of you who like to have your index finger over the trigger guard, that's great. this area of the grip is indexed for your thumbs. And this grip has a very nice contour to it. The gun comes with 2 magazines, and that's important when assessing this gun's value because these magazines are quite pricey. They're $45. If you live in a state with a magazine capacity restriction, this doesn't really help you very much because you have to have your magazines pinned to 10 rounds. But what my dealer did, because I live in Maryland and we're limited to 10 round magazines, my dealer just didn't sell me the magazines. He took $40 off the price of the gun, and I went over state lines to Virginia, bought the magazines, and brought them back. Because you can own high capacity magazines, you just can't buy them in Maryland. So everybody just goes out of state to get their high capacity magazines. Overall, this gun represents great value for the money. It's extremely versatile, it feels really good in your hand, it's extremely accurate, even though I'm not the best person when it comes to assessing pistol accuracy. I'm not as familiar with pistols as I am with rifles, but I would imagine that somebody extremely skilled could get a lot of accuracy out of this pistol. And it's extremely reliable. I haven't had any failures to feed or failures to extract, even though I didn't go easy upon breaking this gun in. I just did a lot of magazine dumps, did a lot of double taps, and I really wasn't easy on this gun when I first got it. But overall, it's held up extremely well, and I am extremely satisfied with my purchase. The MSRP on something like Gunbroker would be about $470. Then you'll have to pay your dealer a $50 transfer fee or however much they charge for transfers. If you buy it from a dealer off their shelf, it'll probably be like $530, $520. If you're really fortunate, if you have a dealer that stocks a lot of CZs, then you might be able to get it for under $500. But the CZ P-09 Duty gets my recommendation as the best 9mm pistol for the money this year. Thank you very much for watching this review. My name is David, and I will see you next video.